In Genesis 1 through 3, we find a contrast between God and Satan. And we're forced to make a decision. Do we believe God or Satan? God, who spoke all things into existence in Genesis chapter 1 and established the home in Genesis chapter 2. He creates everything in man's environment, all the trees. He said, thou mayest freely eat that are good for food. But there's only one tree that God made that he forbade man to eat from, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Much could be said about that, but God provides man free will. You see that? Just like the kid in the nursery. He has all these toys to play with, but he wants that one toy he can't have, one toy that the other has. That's man's nature. So God gives man all these blessings, but says you can't eat of this one tree. It says, in the day thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Genesis 2:17. Thou shalt surely die. So from the very beginning, God says the wages of sin is death. But then Satan comes along in Genesis 3 and verse 4. He doesn't talk to both Adam and Eve, just Eve, divide and conquer. And he tells the woman, you shall not surely die. So we have a decision to make. Is God telling the truth? Is the penalty of sin, is the penalty of disobedience death? Thou shalt surely die. Or is Satan correct? Thou shalt not surely die. It's one or the other. One is lying, the other is telling the truth. Adam came to find out that God was telling the truth. Genesis 5:5, it speaks about him, and he died. Interesting to note what happened that very day. As they spiritually died, they were separated from God. But there was a physical execution that went on. It wasn't Adam and Eve. It was substitutes. But the fact of the matter is, God was telling the truth. The wages of sin is death. And Satan has lied for thousands of years, still telling the lie. Ye shall not surely die. So let's trust God. And thankfully, he's provided a remedy for all of us who have sinned. As we see in Genesis chapter 3:21, the coat of skins foreshadowed the death of the Savior, in whom we are accepted.